Hey, stop right there. Before you click away, I want to ask you one question.
Just one question? That's unusual for you, Thomas. You usually ask about 10.
Okay, fair point. But seriously, have you ever been in the middle of a conversation in English and suddenly your brain just stopped?
Oh, absolutely. Like you open your mouth and then nothing. You're just standing there thinking, wait, is this past perfect or present perfect? Do I need the here? Should I say make or do?
Exactly. And while you're busy thinking about all of that, the conversation has already moved on and you missed it.
That's the worst feeling. You want to say something, but your brain gets in the way.
Well, today we are going to talk about how to speak English without thinking about grammar. No more freezing, no more grammar panic, just real, natural conversation.
And trust me, this is something that completely changed how I speak English. So stay with us, because by the end of this video, you're going to see English in a totally different way.
Let's go. All right, Grace, let's start from the very beginning, because I think a lot of learners, and I mean a lot, believe that grammar is the most important thing in speaking English.
Yes, and you know what? I used to believe that too. When I first started learning English, I thought if I just memorize all the grammar rules, I'll be fluent. Easy, right?
Oh, if only it were that simple.
Right? But here's what actually happened. I memorized the rules, I studied them really hard, and then when someone spoke to me in English, I still couldn't respond naturally.
And why do you think that happened?
Because speaking is not the same as writing a grammar test. When you're speaking, you don't have time to think, okay, this is a third conditional sentence, so I need to use had plus the past participle, and then would have plus. By then, the person is already looking at you very strangely.
Yes, they're like, hello, are you okay?
Exactly. So I realized the problem isn't knowing grammar. The problem is trying to use grammar rules while speaking at the same time.
That's such an important point. Let me repeat that because it's really key. The problem is trying to use grammar rules while speaking at the same time. Say it with me, listeners. Using grammar rules while speaking at the same time.
Think about it this way, Thomas. When a native English speaker talks, do you think they're saying in their head, okay, I need to use the present perfect here because this action started in the past and is still relevant now?
No, of course not. They just say it naturally, without thinking.
Exactly. And that's what we want for our listeners. We want you to speak naturally, without the constant thinking, checking, and worrying.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking right now. You're thinking, but Thomas, if I don't think about grammar, I'll make mistakes.
Yes, the fear of mistakes, the number one enemy of English learners everywhere.
Everywhere, in every country, in every language level.
But here's the thing, and this is so important, making mistakes is not the problem. Making mistakes is actually part of the process.
Absolutely. And you know what's funny? Even native speakers make grammar mistakes all the time.
All the time. I hear it every day. Me and him went to the store. Technically, that's not correct grammar, but nobody stops the conversation to say, excuse me, that should be he and I.
Can you imagine? Just normal people talking and someone pulls out a grammar book? Actually, according to rule number 47,
Nobody does that because in real conversation, communication is the goal, not perfection.
say that again, Grace. Communication is the goal, not perfection.
Communication is the goal, not perfection. Write that down, everyone, seriously, or put it on your wall.
So today, we're going to show you a better way, a way that actually works in real life, not just on grammar tests. Ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, part 2. And this part might surprise you a little bit because I want to ask, what do you think fluency means?
Ooh, okay. I think most people think fluency means speaking perfectly, no mistakes, like a native speaker.
Right. And that's actually a really common misunderstanding. A lot of learners think, when I'm fluent, I'll never make mistakes. But that's not what fluency means at all.
So what does it actually mean?
Fluency means being able to communicate your ideas clearly and smoothly, without stopping too much, without too many long pauses, without too much confusion.
Ah, so it's more about flow, about being able to keep the conversation going.
Exactly. Flow is a great word. Think about a river. A fluent river doesn't stop, it moves. Sometimes it goes around rocks. Sometimes it slows down a little, but it keeps moving.
Oh, I like that. A fluent river. So even if I make a small grammar mistake, as long as I keep the conversation moving, that's still fluency.
Completely. And here's something really interesting. Research has shown that people judge your English ability more on your confidence and your flow than on your grammar accuracy.
Wow, so if I speak confidently, even if I say something slightly wrong, people will think I'm better at English than someone who speaks perfectly but very slowly and nervously.
In many cases, yes. Confidence is huge. People listen to how you say something as much as what you say.
That's actually really encouraging because a lot of learners, I know from experience, they wait. They wait until their English is perfect before they speak.
And that's the big trap, waiting for perfect, because perfect never comes.
Never. You have to speak to improve. You can't improve your speaking by only studying.
Right. It's like learning to swim. You can read every book about swimming. You can study every swimming technique. But until you actually get in the water, you cannot swim.
And the first time in the water, you're going to swallow some water. You're going to splash around. It's going to be a little messy.
Yes, that's learning. And every time you go back in the water, it gets easier, smoother, more natural.
Exactly. So for our listeners, the lesson here is this. Fluency is not perfection. Fluency is flow. Fluency is communication. Fluency is getting in the water and swimming, even imperfectly.
Beautiful. And how do you build that fluency? That's what the rest of this video is about.
I'm excited. Let's keep going.
All right, part 3. And this right here might be the most important part of the whole video, so I want everyone to really listen closely.
Agreed. This completely changed the way I use English.
So here's the secret. Ready? Stop thinking in grammar rules. Start thinking in chunks.
Chunks. Let's explain that word because it's really important.
Yes, a chunk is a group of words that naturally go together. Words that native speakers use as one unit. You don't think about the grammar inside the chunk. You just use the chunk as a whole.
Okay, give us some examples.
Sure. Think about the phrase, I'd love to. 2 words, I'd and love and to. Technically, I'd is I would, which is the conditional form, but nobody thinks about that when they say it.
Right, you just say, would you like some coffee? I'd love to. You don't stop and think, let me use the conditional modal verb here.
Exactly. You just know the chunk, I'd love to. It comes out automatically.
Other examples, to be honest, as far as I know, by the way, I was wondering if, these are all chunks, ready-made phrases.
And here's the beautiful thing about chunks. When you learn them, you learn the grammar inside them naturally, without studying grammar rules.
Oh, that's brilliant. So if I learn the chunk, I've been waiting for a long time. I've learned the present perfect continuous, but I didn't study present perfect continuous. I just learned the phrase.
Perfect. You just explained it perfectly. When you know the chunk, you know the grammar, without knowing the name of the grammar.
And that's how children learn language. They don't learn grammar first, they learn phrases. They hear thank you, and they repeat thank you. They hear I want more, and they say I want more. They're learning chunks.
Yes, children are incredible language learners, and one of the main reasons is they don't overthink. They just absorb and use.
So for our listeners, the advice is, instead of memorizing grammar rules, start collecting chunks. Start collecting useful phrases that you hear in movies, in songs, in conversations.
Write them down, put them in a notebook, practice saying them out loud, and little by little, your brain will start storing these chunks automatically.
And when you need them in conversation, pop, they just come out without thinking.
Pop, I love that. Like popcorn, the chunks just pop out.
Yes, popcorn English. That should be a method.
Let me give our listeners some really useful chunks right now. Chunks that come up again and again in real English conversations. Ready?
Ready, fire away.
Okay, first chunk, it depends. This is so useful. Instead of giving a complicated answer, you say, it depends, or it depends on the situation.
Ooh, yes, it depends is a lifesaver because sometimes questions are complicated and you need time to think. It depends buys you time and sounds natural.
Second chunk, what do you mean? Perfect for when you don't understand something. Don't panic, don't freeze, just say, what do you mean? Or what do you mean by that?
Natural, simple, polite. Perfect.
Third chunk, that's a good point. When someone says something interesting or you agree with them, that's a good point. Shows you're listening, shows you're engaged.
And it gives you a tiny moment to think before you respond.
Exactly, smart strategy. Fourth, actually, I think. Great for when you want to share your opinion. Actually, I think it depends on. Actually, I think you're right.
And fifth, you know what I mean? Great for checking that the other person understood you. It's casual and friendly.
Okay, listeners, let's say these 5 chunks together slowly. Ready? It depends. What do you mean? That's a good point. Actually, I think you know what I mean.
Excellent. Learn those 5 phrases, use them this week, and you'll notice a big difference.
Part 4. And this is something, Grace, have you ever caught yourself doing this?
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to say.
You're in a conversation in English, and instead of thinking in English, you think in your first language, then translate to English, then speak.
Oh, yes, I used to do this all the time, and it is so slow and so exhausting.
It really is, because language doesn't translate perfectly. Every language has its own logic, its own rhythm, its own way of expressing ideas.
Right. Some things that are completely normal to say in one language sound very strange when you translate them directly to English.
Exactly. And when learners translate word by word, they often produce sentences that are grammatically correct, but that no native speaker would ever actually say.
Yes, like technically correct, but nobody talks like that.
So how do you stop translating? How do you start thinking in English?
Great question. And the answer is practice thinking in English. Not just speaking, thinking.
Can you explain that more?
Sure. So when you wake up in the morning, instead of thinking in your language, try to narrate your morning in English, in your head. I'm getting up. I need to brush my teeth. I'm a little tired today. I need coffee.
Very relatable.
Very. And it doesn't have to be perfect. The point is to get your brain used to producing English thought without going through your first language first.
It's like building a direct road between your brain and English. Instead of the long way through your first language, you build a shortcut.
Exactly, a shortcut. And the more you practice, the shorter and faster that shortcut becomes.
Another great tip, when you learn a new word or phrase, don't just translate it. Try to connect it to a picture or a feeling or a situation.
Yes, for example, the word cozy. Don't translate it. Instead, picture a warm blanket, a cup of tea, a rainy evening, soft light. That is the feeling of cozy. Now when you hear the word, you feel it. You understand it instantly.
And when you want to use it, you don't need to translate. You just feel, this is a cozy moment. And you say cozy naturally.
That's how native speakers understand words, not through translation, through experience and association.
This is why watching English movies and TV shows is so powerful. You hear a phrase, that's hilarious, and you hear it in a funny, laughing context. So your brain connects hilarious with laughter, with comedy, with joy.
And next time something funny happens, bam, that's hilarious comes out without thinking.
Without translating, without grammar checking, just naturally.
So the advice here, listeners, is this. Spend time with English every day. Not just studying English, living with English. Watch shows, listen to music, think in English when you're alone. Make English part of your daily life.
And gradually, very gradually, your brain will start switching from translate mode to think in English mode.
And that is when real fluency begins.
That is when real fluency begins. Say it again. That's when real fluency begins.
Part 5. Okay, Grace, question. If someone told you there was one thing, just one thing, you could do to massively improve your English speaking, what would you say?
I'd say listen. Listen more.
Exactly, listening. And I think a lot of people underestimate how powerful listening is.
Completely underestimate it. People think speaking practice means speaking, talking. But actually, the foundation of speaking is listening.
Think about babies again. A baby doesn't speak for the first year or two of their life, but they are listening constantly. They are absorbing the sounds, the rhythms, the patterns of the language.
And then one day, they start speaking. And they already have a huge amount of the language stored inside them because they've been listening for so long.
So for adult learners, if you want to speak more naturally, you need to listen more, a lot more.
But not just any listening. Focused listening, active listening.
Right, what's the difference?
Passive listening is you have English in the background while you do other things. It's still helpful, but it's not as powerful.
Okay.
Active listening is you really focus on what you're hearing. You notice the words, you notice the phrases, you notice how things are said, the rhythm, the stress, the intonation.
Intonation, that's a big one. For our listeners who aren't sure, intonation is the music of the language, the way your voice goes up and down when you speak.
And intonation is huge in English. The same words can mean very different things depending on the intonation.
For example, really? Said with surprise and interest. Really? That's amazing.
Or really? Said with doubt and sarcasm. Really? I don't believe you.
The same word, completely different meaning.
Yes, and you learn these things through listening, not through grammar books. You can't learn intonation from a book. You learn it with your ears.
So the advice here? Listen to real English as much as possible. Podcasts, movies, YouTube videos, songs, TV shows.
And when you hear a phrase you like, a phrase that sounds natural and useful, stop, repeat it, say it out loud. Try to copy the intonation.
This is called shadowing, and it's one of the most effective techniques for improving your speaking. You listen, and then you shadow, you repeat what you hear.
Like a shadow following a person, you follow the English you hear.
Exactly. And over time, your speaking starts to sound more and more natural because you've been listening to and copying natural English.
This is actually what actors do when they learn accents. They don't study phonetic charts for hours. They listen to the accent. They copy it. They do it over and over until it feels natural.
And you can do the exact same thing with English. Listen, copy, repeat. Listen, copy, repeat.
So for this week, listeners, I want you to try something. Find an English video or podcast that you enjoy. Listen to one short section, maybe just 30 seconds. Then try to repeat it. Copy everything: the words, the speed, the rhythm, the intonation.
Don't worry about being perfect. Just try to sound similar. And notice how different it feels from just reading or studying grammar.
Your mouth, your ears, and your brain are all working together. That's powerful.
Very powerful.
Part 6, and this is one of the most common things I hear from English learners. Thomas, I want to practice speaking, but I have nobody to talk to.
Oh yes, this is such a real challenge. Not everyone has an English-speaking friend. Not everyone lives in an English-speaking country.
So what do you do?
Well, here's the good news. You don't actually need another person to practice speaking.
What? Really?
Really, you can practice with yourself. And before anyone laughs, this is actually a very powerful technique.
Okay, tell us more.
So the first technique is called self-talk. Basically, you narrate your life in English. You're making breakfast. I'm going to make some eggs today. I think I'll add some vegetables. Actually, I don't have any vegetables. I should go to the market later.
So you're just talking to yourself in English?
In English, yes. And it sounds a little funny, I know, but it works incredibly well because you're constantly activating your English in real situations in real time.
And it forces you to think of words and phrases on the spot, which is exactly what you need to do in real conversations.
Exactly. Another great technique, talk to yourself in a mirror. I know, it sounds a bit silly.
A bit?
Okay, it sounds very silly, but it's brilliant because you can see your expressions. You can practice looking confident while you speak, and confidence in body language is a big part of communication.
That's true. Your face, your posture, your eye contact, these all communicate as much as your words.
Third technique, have imaginary conversations. Pretend you're talking to someone. Pretend you're ordering food at a restaurant. Pretend you're meeting someone new at a party. Act it out loud.
This is role-playing, and it's fantastic because you're practicing the kinds of conversations that happen in real life.
And you can prepare. You can think, what questions might someone ask me? How would I answer? And then you practice those answers.
Fourth technique, record yourself. Use your phone. Just press record and talk about your day, about something you watched, about something you read, for just 2 or 3 minutes.
And then, and this is the important part, listen back. Listen to yourself. Notice how you sound. Notice where you pause. Notice where you seem to struggle.
It can feel a little uncomfortable to listen to your own voice.
Very uncomfortable, but it's so helpful because you notice things about your own speaking that you can't notice while you're in the conversation.
And over time, you'll hear yourself improving, and that is motivating. Hearing your own progress is one of the best motivations to keep going.
Absolutely. And fifth, find language exchange partners online. There are so many apps and websites now where you can connect with people who want to learn your language and they speak English natively.
So you help them with your language, they help you with English. It's a win-win.
Perfect. So listeners, no excuses now. Even without a conversation partner, you have so many ways to practice. Start today. Even 5 minutes a day makes a difference.
5 minutes a day, every day. Consistency is more important than long study sessions once a week.
So true.
Part 7. Now, we've been talking about techniques and tips, but I also want to talk about some very common habits that actually stop learners from speaking naturally. Habits that might feel helpful, but actually slow you down.
Ooh, yes, there are a few big ones.
First one, waiting until your English is perfect before speaking.
Oh, we talked about this a little earlier, but it's so important, it's worth saying again. Waiting for perfect is waiting forever, because perfect doesn't come from studying, it comes from doing.
You learn to speak by speaking. That's it.
Second common mistake, apologizing too much for your English. Sorry, my English is not very good. Sorry if I make mistakes.
And why is that a problem?
Because it signals insecurity, and insecurity makes other people feel uncomfortable. It puts unnecessary pressure on the conversation before it even starts.
Instead, what should learners do?
Just start. Just speak. Most people are kind and patient. They want to understand you. You don't need to apologize before you even try.
Absolutely. Now, there's a difference between apologizing and clarifying. It's perfectly fine to say, "Sorry, could you say that again?" Or, "I'm not sure I understood. Could you explain?" That's communication, not apology.
Great point. Asking for clarification is a strong communication skill, not a weakness.
Third common mistake, using only simple, safe words because you're afraid of making mistakes.
Ah, yes, playing it safe. Sticking to the same 10 words you know really well.
And while that keeps you in your comfort zone, it also keeps you stuck. You don't grow.
To grow, you need to try new words, new phrases, even if you use them wrong sometimes. Even if someone corrects you, that's learning.
I remember once I tried to use the phrase "over the moon" to mean very happy, and I said it at the wrong moment, and the person looked at me so confused.
But did you learn from that?
Oh, absolutely. I never forgot how to use "over the moon" after that. The embarrassment helped me remember.
Perfect example. Mistakes are memory tools. They stick with you.
Fourth mistake, focusing too much on what you don't know in a conversation. You hear a word you don't understand, and suddenly all you can think about is that one word, and you miss everything else that's said.
Yes, this happens so much. You don't need to understand every single word. Context is your best friend. You can understand the general idea, the feeling, the topic, even if a few words are unfamiliar.
Train yourself to keep moving forward. Even if there's one word you don't know, keep listening. The meaning will usually become clear from context.
And if it doesn't, ask. Sorry, what does word mean? That's perfectly natural in conversation.
Fifth mistake, giving up when the conversation gets difficult. When you feel lost or confused, instead of continuing, you just stop.
And I completely understand that feeling. It's overwhelming. But real conversations are sometimes difficult, even for native speakers.
Even native speakers sometimes don't understand each other.
Totally. So when conversation gets hard, take a breath, use your chunks, and keep going. Sorry, could you repeat that? What do you mean exactly? I see what you're saying.
These phrases are your lifelines. Use them freely.
And every difficult conversation you push through makes you stronger.
Part 8, vocabulary. Because you can have all the grammar in the world, but if you don't have the words, you can't communicate.
Very true. And how you build your vocabulary is just as important as how much you build it.
So let's talk about the natural way, the way that actually helps words stick in your memory and come out naturally when you speak.
Okay, first tip. Learn words in context, not in lists.
What's the difference?
If you have a list of 10 new words and you just read through the list, you might remember them for a day, maybe 2, but then gone.
Gone, like a dream when you wake up.
Exactly. But if you learn a word in a full sentence, in a real situation, you remember it much longer.
For example, instead of just learning the word exhausted, you learn it in a sentence like, "After the long flight, I was completely exhausted. I could barely walk."
Now you know the word, you know how to use it, you know what it feels like, and you'll remember it.
And even better, you remember it as part of a chunk. Completely exhausted. I was completely exhausted. Ready to use.
Second tip, learn vocabulary from things you enjoy. If you love cooking, learn English cooking vocabulary. If you love sport, learn sports vocabulary. If you love music, learn music vocabulary.
When the content is interesting to you, your brain is engaged, and engaged brains learn faster and remember longer.
So don't just study business English because someone told you to, if you hate business. Find your passion and find the English in that passion.
Third tip, use new words quickly. The same day you learn a new word, try to use it in a sentence, in your self-talk, in a message to a friend. The faster you use it, the better it sticks.
Research actually shows this. If you use a new word within 24 hours of learning it, your chance of remembering it goes up dramatically.
Wow, that's powerful. So don't wait. Use it immediately.
Fourth tip, learn common collocations. A collocation is when two words naturally go together, like make a decision, not do a decision, not take a decision, make a decision.
Or heavy rain, not strong rain. Even though strong and heavy are similar, in English we say heavy rain.
And fast food, not quick food. Break a habit, not stop a habit. These collocations are everywhere, and learning them makes you sound much more natural.
Because native speakers don't think about collocations, they just know them from years of listening and reading.
And you can build that same knowledge by paying attention to how words are used together, not just what they mean alone.
Fifth tip, review vocabulary regularly. Learning a word once is usually not enough. You need to see it and use it multiple times before it becomes really part of your active vocabulary.
There are great flashcard apps like Anki that use something called spaced repetition. It shows you words at the perfect time, just before you're about to forget them.
Spaced repetition, very effective, very efficient, definitely worth trying.
But even without an app, just making an effort to review your vocabulary notebook every few days is much better than never reviewing it.
Small, consistent effort, that's the key. That's always the key.
Part 9. And this is my favorite part, because now we're actually going to show you in real time what natural English conversation looks like, how you use chunks, how you keep the conversation flowing, even when things get a little uncertain.
We're going to have a real conversation about a completely normal topic. And listeners, pay attention to the chunks we use. Pay attention to how we handle pauses. Pay attention to how we keep things moving.
Ready, Grace?
Ready.
Okay, let's say we're two friends who haven't seen each other in a while. Ready? Here we go.
Oh my goodness, Thomas, I haven't seen you in ages. How have you been?
I know, right? It's been way too long. I've been good, actually. Busy as usual, but good. What about you? How's everything going?
Honestly, things have been a bit up and down lately, but overall, I can't complain. I just started a new job, so that's been keeping me pretty busy.
Oh, really? A new job? That's exciting. What kind of work is it?
It's in marketing, which I'm really enjoying actually. It's very different from what I was doing before, but I like the challenge. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Sometimes a change is exactly what you need. Was it a big adjustment at first?
Oh, definitely. The first few weeks were a little overwhelming, to be honest. So many new people, new systems, new ways of doing things, but I'm starting to feel more comfortable now.
That makes total sense. It always takes time to find your feet in a new place, but it sounds like you're doing really well.
I think so. I mean, there are still days when I think, what am I doing? But I suppose that's part of the process, right?
Oh, 100%. I felt exactly the same way when I started my current job. I remember thinking, everyone here knows so much more than me. I'm way out of my depth.
Yes, that feeling. But then you realize everyone felt that way at some point.
Exactly. Even the people who seem like they know everything, they were once the new person too.
That's such a good point. Anyway, what's new with you? You mentioned you've been busy. What's been going on?
Well, actually, we just had a really big project at work. It took up all my time for the past month, but it finally wrapped up last week, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Oh, I bet. There's nothing like finishing a big project and finally being able to breathe again.
You're absolutely right. It's like a huge weight off your shoulders.
So now that you've got some free time, what are you planning to do with it?
Honestly, I just want to catch up with people, like you, and maybe do some traveling. I've been thinking about going somewhere new. I just haven't decided where yet.
Oh, that sounds amazing. You know, if you're looking for ideas, I went to Portugal last year and absolutely loved it.
Really? I've heard great things about Portugal. What was your favorite part?
Oh, where do I even start? The food was incredible, the people were so friendly, and the cities, Lisbon especially, are just beautiful.
You're making me want to book a flight right now.
Do it. You won't regret it.
Okay, pause. Let's stop there. Did you notice what we did?
We used so many natural chunks. Way out of my depth, find your feet, a weight off your shoulders. Where do I even start?
We asked lots of questions, real genuine questions, which kept the conversation moving.
We used fillers. Honestly, actually, I mean, I suppose. These little words make conversations sound natural.
We laughed, we agreed with each other, we built on what the other person said.
That is real conversation. That's what you're aiming for. Not perfect grammar, but a real, flowing, warm exchange.
And all of you listening right now, you understood that conversation, which means your level is absolutely good enough to have real conversations in English.
Trust yourself. You're more capable than you think.
Part 10, the final piece of the puzzle. Because knowing everything we've talked about today is great, but knowledge without action doesn't change anything.
We need to turn this into a daily habit, a daily routine that actually builds fluency over time.
So let's give our listeners a simple, realistic daily practice plan.
Simple and realistic, because if it's too complicated or too time-consuming, you won't stick with it.
Exactly. Consistency over intensity.
Okay, morning. When you wake up, even before you get out of bed, spend just 5 minutes thinking in English. In your head, how am I feeling? What's my plan for today? What's the weather like?
Simple, gentle, low pressure. Just activating your English brain first thing in the morning.
During the day, when you're doing routine tasks, narrate them in English, quietly, in your head or out loud if you can. I'm making coffee. I need to remember to call my friend. I'm a little tired today.
This is your English background process, running quietly through your day.
Then, sometime during the day, spend about 20 to 30 minutes with real English content. A podcast, a YouTube video, a TV show, something you actually enjoy.
And actively listen, not just background noise. Really listen. Notice phrases, notice intonation. If you hear a phrase you like, repeat it, shadow it.
Then, once a day, spend just 10 minutes speaking out loud in English. It doesn't matter what about. Your day, something you watched, a topic you find interesting. Just 10 minutes of speaking out loud.
10 minutes? That's nothing. Everyone has 10 minutes.
And once a week, record yourself for 2 to 3 minutes. Listen back. Notice your progress. Celebrate the improvements and note where you want to improve.
And keep a small vocabulary notebook. Not a massive list, just 5 new words or phrases per week from your listening or reading. Learn them in context. Use them quickly.
5 words a week, 50 words in 10 weeks, 500 words in 2 years. That adds up fast.
And the most important thing of all, be patient with yourself. Language learning is not a straight line. There are good days and hard days, days when English feels easy and days when nothing seems to work.
And that's completely, absolutely normal. Every single English learner, at every level, experiences this.
The difference between those who improve and those who don't is not talent. It's consistency. It's showing up every day, even on the hard days.
Even 5 minutes on a hard day is better than nothing. Every small effort builds the foundation.
And one day, maybe sooner than you think, you'll be in the middle of an English conversation and you'll suddenly realize, wait, I'm not thinking about grammar. I'm just talking.
And that is the best feeling in the world.
The absolute best. That is the moment you've been working towards.
So keep going, everyone. You're closer than you think.
And that brings us to the end of today's conversation. What an incredible journey through some really important ideas about speaking English naturally.
Let's do a quick summary of everything we covered today, because these ideas are worth remembering.
We talked about why grammar rules slow you down when you're speaking.
We talked about what fluency really means. It's about flow and communication, not perfection.
We talked about thinking in chunks, ready-made phrases that you use automatically.
We talked about stopping the habit of translating in your head and starting to think directly in English.
We talked about the incredible power of listening and using shadowing to improve your speaking.
We talked about how to practice speaking even when you have nobody to talk to.
We talked about common mistakes and how to avoid them.
We talked about building vocabulary naturally through context, collocation, and consistent review.
We had a real conversation and saw all these ideas in action.
And we gave you a daily practice plan, simple, realistic, and effective.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but every single part of it is important, and every part connects to the others.
Now, before we say goodbye, we have a question for you, and we'd love to hear your answer.
Yes, in the comments below, tell us, what is your biggest challenge when speaking English? Is it finding the right words? Is it grammar panic? Is it understanding fast speakers? Is it confidence?
Write it in the comments. We read every single comment, and your answers help us create better videos for you.
And while you're down there, if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps other English learners find this channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell too, so you never miss a new video.
We upload new English conversation videos regularly, and every one is designed to help you speak English more naturally and confidently.
Remember, you don't need perfect grammar to speak good English. You need confidence, practice, and the right mindset.
Say it with us one more time. Communication is the goal, not perfection.
Communication is the goal, not perfection.
Keep practicing, keep listening, keep speaking.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Take care, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye.